Hello friends, this is our seventh video, and till now we have completed installation Hello World using simple Rust file, Hello World using cargo. We designed a simple guessing number guessing game, and we have completed variable and mutability and data types. And in this video, we are going to take a look on functions, right? So how we define a function in the Rust. So here is a simple example that we need to write the function fn for defining show that this is the function, then define the name of the function with two like brackets and then closing and opening and closing. This is the opening, this is the closing of the curly brackets. So this is how we define a function, and this is how we call a function by just using the function name and passing on the parameters if any, and just opening and closing of the brackets and a semicolon, right? And here is the second function defined. Okay, and here is the sample of the program, then how we pass the parameter. We will just take a look into this. Okay, this is how we define the parameter inside a function. We just define the name of the parameter that we need that we want to take from as an input. Then it's defined its type using just a double colon and defining a type. So this is a signed 32-bit integer. That's why we are defining writing as I32, and the variable name would be x. And here we are just printing it. So this is how we define. Here is the calling. We are calling the another function, second function from our main function, right? Okay, this is how a simple thing works. Let's try up to here in the our cargo project. So we are using our previous project as before. That's just, and outside of the main, this is the main function. It's compulsory to for everything to define the main function. So let's get out of it and define the second function in the same file with the name fn, and this is our second function, and this is the second function. Okay, and in the second function we will just hit println and just type this is second function, and this is second function. That's it, and we will use it to just call the second function. That's it. So it should print this is the second function, and instead of the main, right, in the from the main. Let's save it, control s, and clear it, and just type cargo run and press enter. So it's building now. So this is the second function. I've successfully got the output, right? But we have seen an example of passing the parameters. Let's try that. Just type a variable x or say y and give it a type of like anything that we need to print, and we are going to give it a scalar type of like I32 or say U32. We don't want to use any sign, and we can directly pass the variable as like 2 here, or we can just use let x is equals to 2 3 or 2 or 3, anything we can write, and we can pass it here 3. So we are just accepting U32, but here we are defining 3 as default is I32. So we need to change its type as U, because we cannot pass the different integers. We have to change it, right? So instead of, you can see we have defined our x here and we are passing 3. We don't want to pass 3, we need to pass the variable, and then save it again. So here it's passed. Now in the second we are not using this variable, that's why we are showing error. So we can use the passed value is, you can just print it here, passed value is passed value is, and give it y, save it. And if we use cargo run, then it should give all the output as 3. Okay, the passed value is 3. That's how we pass the values. Let's go back to the documents. So this is how we pass multiple variables, just using comma, and we can give the multiple value to the our second functions. Now we have statements and expressions, right? So we are having this is like the statements that we just evaluate, like expression will evaluate the resultant value. Okay, so this is the function. Okay, let's read this from here. Function bodies are made up of series of statements optionally ending as an expression. So far the function we have covered haven't included any ending expression, but you have seen an expression as a part of a statement because Rust is an expression based language. Okay, that's I didn't know. That's new for me. Okay, and this is an important distinction to understand. Other languages doesn't have the same distinctions. Okay, so let's look what the statement and expression are and how do their differences affect the bodies of the function. What the statements are: the instruction to perform some action and do not return a value. Expression is evaluate a resultant value. The statements is just we just calculate the value and let it there is no return value, right? But in the expression we have something to return from the function. So we have this a main function declare contain state. This is the example of the statement, and this is also an example of the statement. Okay, and this is how we are, if we're defining this and we are getting some error. What the error we are getting? So let we cannot define let y is equals to 6. Okay, only supported directories in the condition if and while expressions. Okay, we haven't still learned about if and while, and that we will look I think after somewhere. There might be some look. There is there should be in that should be in by here. Okay, we will just look after some time. And there is an unnecessary parenthesis around the assigned value. So let x is equal to we cannot resolve this parenthesis kind of thing. Remove this parenthesis. So it should be like negative to the and was this should suggesting that let x is equal to let y and both should be equal to 6. Okay, this is kind of the error that we might face by passing the value let here. And then we have this kind of thing. We have let y is equals to let x is equal to x plus 1, the value of y. What should be value of y? The value of y should be like x is equal to 3 x plus 1. So x is equal to 3 and x plus 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4, and then y should be is equal to 4. So this is the expression. This is what we are just writing or returning. We are returning defining x is equal to 3, and then we are returning x plus 1, which is the value that will be assigned to y. Okay, this is how function with a return value. Thus we are using arrow kind of symbol to just let it know that we are returning of the data type i32. What kind of value we are returning. Okay, first let's try this first and check if it's working. I will just copy it and will not type everything. Copy, let's go to VS Code, and instead of the second I will just hit save and clear it. Not clear, and cargo run, and it should give value 4. Okay, now that's all right. And then we have a function. How we will define a function to perform the same. We can just use an arrow to define the i32, define the data type, and inside the curly brackets we will do the math of the basic return value, right? What we need to return, we will just do inside the curly brackets. So we have defined a function 5 here, and where return type is i32 and returning value is So when we call it x and we just call the function equal to, and it will just return the value 5 and assign value x, and that is got printed. Output should be 5. Okay, the value is 5 here. Thing as explained, here we have +1. We have defined an input as an x, and we're returning as an i32 integer, which is x plus 1. X should be an i32, and return value is also i32. So when we got a value like we are getting +1 5, we should be getting 5 plus 1, which is 6, which also an i32 value will be returned to x, and L will assigned, and the value of x will become 6. So this is a simple examples that we are doing. So another thing to notice is here in this example we can see, yeah, we have used a semicolon here, x plus 1 semicolon in the return function, right? But we are not allowed to have this. So you can see I got some error. So when we try to use it, we have to remove this semicolon to return all this value. So that is the thing we need to note, and that's about how we use function to have our return value. uh, okay, and this is how we define like statements and expressions in the Rust. Let's check out the example of the Rust expression, another example of the Rust expression. So we have this, can we define a second function, define a second function, fn second f function, and just close it, and we'll define a return value. We take input as x of type i32, and we should be returning a value of i32, and we will return a value of x plus 1, and that should be we are returning. Now we have let y, but we will define let x is equals to 1. Okay, and let x is equal to 1, and let y is equals to like what we are calling second function. I'll give it a value of x. That's good, automatically taken the value, and just value of y here. Now click on save it and run it. Uh, cargo uh, cargo run and enter. Building, yes, the value is 2. So we got x plus 1 value in the white uh, variable, right? X is 1, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Okay, that's good. Now in the next, we will also look at comments in this video. Let's go to next. So here we have comments, how we will just write the documentation like as a comments, or we need to have a reference in the Rust. Some kind we need to explain a function what the function is doing. We can use comments to have this, to achieve that. We can use double line double slash to have a single line comment, and you can just do it multiple times to have a multiple line comments. That's good. So this is the only way. I think there is no other way. Okay, this is the only way we can, I think we have comments in the Rust. Okay, so let's see an example with the existing code. So we are having some kind of code here. If we write something like xyz, it will just, if you save it, it will show an error that this is not something unable to identify or to get by the compiler. So what we do, just have a double quote, then we'll write adds 1 and save it, and the error is gone. This is like the comment we did. There is no actual use of in the code, but it's only just reference that this code is what explains what the code is doing, or giving reference to self or to someone else who is working on project or the code. There is no actual use inside a function. It will not change any value, right? So that's how we use comment, and that's it for this video. Hope this video is helpful for you, and the next video we will probably go to control flow and try to learn it together, and hope you will subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.